Hello, this video is to show students and parents how to look at your Aeries gradebook details. When you log into Aeries, you're going to see your overall grades for each class. You do want to take a look at the grades overall to see what you're scoring. You can see trends, like if your grade is going down. You can see if your grade is going up based off of what teachers have entered, and you can actually see the last time that they have updated the grades. You want to click on specific classes to actually see gradebook details, and you can toggle back and forth between different periods or different classes that you have using this little downward caron. You can even filter so that you only see missing assignments for each particular class, but you want to make sure that you're not always just looking at missing assignments. There's a lot of important details for the grades that you do have, not just the missing assignments that are coming up. So you can click that and unclick that as you need to. If a box is showing up red in your gradebook, it means that the teacher has already graded that assignment for the entire class and yours is showing up as missing. It would be the same thing on Google Classroom. When you have a missing assignment, if it's past the deadline, the due date, then it automatically turns red and Google Classroom will let you know that it is missing. That red means missing. You want to take a look at the score for each one of the assignments. If you take a look, you see that there's the assignment title, the category that it's in, the points that you received, like how many points out of the total, and the percent that is for each one of the individual assignments. You can also see if a teacher has already finished grading it and it is counted into the gradebook. If not, it would say no, grading is not complete. You can see that depending on the score that you receive, it affects how many points you get into that particular category for that particular assignment. So for example, this score is 22 out of 30. That's a 73% for that exact assignment. This score is 37 out of 40. That's a 92% for that exact assignment. On this quiz/test, it says 42 out of 40. That is 105% on that assignment because there was extra credit built in. For this vocabulary, it says 20 out of 20. That's 100% for that particular assignment. And then for these skies cards, it says 60 out of 90. That's a 66% on that particular assignment. So you do want to take a look at the scores for each one of the assignments to see if you're getting low scores. Maybe you did turn in an assignment, but you have a low score, like below 70%. Now your classes do have weighted categories, and these weights cause an assignment to affect your grade differently by breaking up the percent of your grade, and it totals 100%. So if we take a look at the left, you see that this particular class, the grade comes from assignments, 25% of the grade, test, 25% of the grade, Mathia, 20% of the grade, quizzes, 10% of the grade, culminating tasks, 10% of the grade, and participation is 10% of the grade. You can see that for this particular student, they have earned 198 points for their classwork assignments out of 300 total, which means that they have a D in that category is 66%, which is bringing their grade down, and they need to turn in more of their classwork assignments. On their test, however, you see that they have 94 points out of 100, so they have an A in that category, which is bringing their grade overall up. For Mathia, you see that they have earned 0 points, and in that case, it is not affecting it. But once grades do get entered, then it would affect the grade. For quizzes, we see that the student has a 95% in quizzes. Culminating tasks, they have 30 points out of 50 points, which is a 60%. That's a D-, and so that would be bringing the grade average down. And for participation, it's 250 points out of 260, which is an A score. And so when the computer does the averaging for all of these scores, taking into account how much each category is worth, overall this student has a B minus, 81.45%. If you take a look at the categories for this teacher on the right, you see that assignments make up 60% of the grade, quizzes and tests make up 25% of the grade, and projects make up 15% of the grade. For this particular student, we see that they have turned in assignments, but from 720 points total, they only have 394, which is a 54.72%, which is an F category in their classwork assignments. So they would need to turn in more classwork in order to raise their grade. When we look at quizzes and tests for this particular student, we see that out of 134 points possible, they only have 70, which brings them to a 52% in that particular category. Again, they would need to do better on the test and quizzes. For projects, which is 15% of the grade, there were 30 points total, and this student has 0 points out of those 30 points. So they're missing an entire 15% from their grade. That category is an F. And when we look at the categories overall and the computer does the averaging, this student has a 45.89%, which is not passing. They would need to improve in their classwork assignments, their quizzes and tests, and most definitely turn in the projects, because that is an entire 15% of their grade that they are missing. One assignment can make a difference in the gradebook depending on the category. So you see that this student has basically turned in a lot of their work. Some of it has not yet been entered into the gradebook for the class. That's why it says no right here for grading complete. So we're not taking a look at these assignments that haven't been counted yet. We're looking at all of the ones that are showing a percent and showing a yes, that grading is complete for the class. And you see the student might say, but I'm only missing the one assignment. But that one assignment is a quiz or assessment. And so if you take a look at the scores that the student has received, you'll see that generally they're getting passing scores, but then they're missing this quiz/assessment, and so it is going to bring the grade down. You see in that particular category for assessments and quizzes, now they have a D plus in that category. They have a C in classwork/homework, and an A minus in article analysis. So now their total when the computer does the averaging is a C. If they were to turn in that quiz and assessment, then the grade would go up overall in both the category and the total grade. Sometimes teachers will leave comments on particular assignments. We do encourage you to read them. Sometimes the assignments have a comment on encouraging students to go to office hours. Sometimes it's reminding students to, for example, on this case, take a quiz. Even though the student was in the live session, they did not take the quiz that was posted on Google Classroom. So that one is missing. The student should let the teacher know, and they should be able to take the quiz. This particular comment is letting students and parents know all of the support and the accommodations that we're giving, and it's counting down to a deadline so that students are aware of how it's going to affect them once grading is complete. And so you do want to take a look at the comments that teachers are leaving for students. Comments would be in this middle area. Now, assignments might not be graded yet for the entire class, but once teachers click grading complete for the class, it is going to affect the grades. And so we don't want you to wait until you see an assignment missing on Aeries to work on it if you know you didn't turn it in. It shows up as missing on Google Classroom, the same red missing on your feedback and your grades. So for this particular assignment, this essay, you see that it's a project category. It's out of 40 points, and it hasn't been completed for grading for the entire class. But as soon as it is, this student is going to show a missing score, and it is going to drop the grade significantly because it's a project grade, and there are fewer projects in the class, and it is a separate category in comparison to assignments where there were a lot of assignments. So please don't wait until you see that it is actually missing. If you know it's missing, work on it so you can turn it in late. Now, grade cutoff is coming. It would be best for you to focus on work from this trimester. What we don't want you to do is take a look at a 10-point classwork assignment and turn that in as your focus. We want you to prioritize what you're actually working on. So something like a project, a culminating task, a quiz or a test, those are going to affect your grades more because there tend to be fewer of those in the actual gradebook. A classwork assignment that is worth more points, let's say 160 points, compared to a classwork assignment that's worth 10 points, you want to focus on the one that has the most points when it comes to your basic classwork assignments. And you want to focus on things that are more recent within the trimester you're working on. So if it's October, you want to focus on the assignments from October and even September, not a 10-point assignment from August. Your priority should be the projects, culminating tasks, quizzes and tests or other assessments, and assignments that are worth the most points in the gradebook category, like 160 or 60 points in comparison to only 10 points. Prioritize your missing work that way, and you will definitely improve your grade.